Go check us out on Spotify and anywhere else that you get your favorite podcasts. Leave us a review. Don't like it if you don't like it, but tell us what you think.
Like and subscribe.
It's free.
When the lights go down. You like that? You like that? On my side of town. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Oh, if we see the one and only. There's always room here for the lonely. Well, y'all ready?
Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this? Magic frogs, frogs with magic. The wizards, they're everywhere.
Have you ever heard about Jeff, the extra special mongoose?
Somebody's taking all the Legos. Where are they going? Where do they come from? It's not Cotton Eye Joe, but it is Bricks Minifigs.
I didn't know figs could be mini.
Yep. Well, today you're going to learn, boy. We're going to learn something. Welcome back to another episode of Tinfoil Testament. We are back together again, once again, bringing you another episode.
The
for
news.
Today. Yeah. What's new with you, Andrew?
Do not say you're going to Japan.
Do not pass go. Do not pass.
Do not collect
$200
and pass go.
So, I already talked with Andrew for a minute, but we got to discuss. I assume I know the answer from you too. Did you find any ads?
I had one, and I took a screenshot of it.
Really?
You had
But
one.
it wasn't a toy.
Oh.
Or a train.
Yeah. for those that didn't listen to last week's episode, at the very end, we said that we're going to think of toy trains and see if we got ads or not.
But we didn't actually say it on the podcast because we didn't want it to be out there.
Yeah, to
So
influence our phones.
Vandy wrote down toy train. We all looked at it. We all agreed. And
I didn't get any ads.
I thought about toy trains a lot and I never got any ads. And then on one day I said something about toy trains a lot with my phone right next to me and
Still nothing.
still nothing.
Well, I can't find it right now, but it was an ad for a train fare.
Oh.
But that's
Kind of. I mean,
that's
trains.
sort of there. Yeah, I was super scientific with it too. I went to sleep with my phone underneath my pillow to try to get all the brain waves.
That's crazy.
But it probably just put 5Gs in my brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said.
It worked.
Did you wear your
reverse.
tinfoil hat?
I did.
Then that's
it
why
might
it
have
didn't work.
It might have stopped your thoughts from getting to the phone.
Confirmed tinfoil works against 5Gs.
What about 6G?
Nope. It's coming soon though.
It's coming soon. It's gonna fry your brains.
Yep. Dude, I remember when 4G came out and they're like, you're switching from 3G to LTE to 4G. You're going to have all kinds of cancers and stuff.
And then
popping out of your head.
5G, they said they're microwaving our brains. It's gonna be like popcorn.
Yeah, I still don't know how I feel about that. I was making fun of the whole thing, but the more that I look into frequencies
You can't see them, Andrew.
and how frequencies do affect how humans react and how animals react, maybe they do have a thing.
Is that why we have a liberal hive mind now? And a Republican hive mind?
You're saying the hive mind is based on frequencies?
Yes.
We're just nothing but honeybees.
Is that
in
where the
this earth.
phrase vibe comes from?
Exactly. The hive.
I'm feeling the vibe.
The vibrations.
I don't know.
But-
All I know is that they're turning the frogs gay.
Yep. And speaking of frogs, there's a bunch in Ohio.
Ohio?
One of the top 5 worst states.
It's so bad that the people have to. There's 2 people that have to spell the name Ohio
Ohio.
whenever they meet each other. Remember how
No.
it goes? They go OHIO for their college football team.
What?
That's the chant that they use.
Dude, that's the best they came up with.
So I have a cryptid. Going.
That looks more like a lizard and mixed with the swamp monster than it does the frog.
How do you know?
It kind of. Anyway,
I had ChatGPT do the best it could.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say it looks like a frog, but at the same time, it looks like a fish.
Yeah.
I see chameleon.
I can't help how.
But it does have a pointed mouth, which makes it look like
those are chameleon eyes.
like a
I'm telling
beak.
you.
Anyway, so I have a cryptid, and this cryptid's name is
Jeff.
the Loveland Frogman.
I think that's a title.
No, that's the name of the cryptid.
First name, the second name,
Well,
Loveland.
whatever. It's the
The
Loveland.
Maiden name Ohio.
It's like saying it's whatever.
OH.
Io.
So the Loveland Frogman has been seen in a county of southwest Ohio.
OH.
Io.
Sorry, that's the last time I'll do that. That is so stupid.
I know, that's their college team, dude. So
Jeez.
the first sighting of this cryptid was in 1955. And the last sighting was in 2016.
Isn't Ohio where they had all the chemical spills in the waterways?
Yeah, with the train that derailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That was
But
after.
that was way after.
yeah, I know, but like
It retroactively in the past and time traveled and
made a time loop.
So this is off of this article that I'm reading is off of the Cryptid Wiki.
Ooh, and we
Yeah.
all know Cryptid Wiki is 100% true.
110 even.
Yep, if you have a tinfoil hat.
Well, it's a really good website to find cryptids and look at them and stuff like that if you're interested in them. So the Loveland Frogmen, also known as the Loveland Lizards.
So it is. It could be a lizard.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything just yet. That's why I kind of hesitated at first. But they are cryptids who derive their name from the area they inhabit near Loveland, Ohio. The creatures themselves have been sighted in Clermont County. If I'm saying that wrong, which I don't think I am,
I think you're right.
CLERM.
If you're saying it wrong, nobody cares.
Yeah, we
Because
got your
it's
back
Ohio.
here. Yeah. OH.
They need two people.
Io.
They need two people to spell the
Should
name
not
of their
have
state.
told me this stupid thing.
So the Loveland frog has had 4 sightings. 1 in 55, 2 in 72, and 1 in 2016.
It is so crazy you're talking about frogs because yesterday, the biggest tree frog I've ever seen went right underneath my lawnmower. And
Nice.
but I saw him for a second. I was like, he'll hop the other way.
Are you sure
Nope.
it was a tree frog?
There sure wasn't a
Yep.
frogman.
It might have been baby frogman.
Baby frogman.
Sorry.
So the sighting, the 2016 sighting has video evidence associated with it,
Really? I'm going to go research.
but it's likely a hoax.
Don't say that. Have you seen some of the women in Ohio?
Oof. So I'm going to ignore that and keep on moving. The Loveland Frogmen are reportedly bipedal frogs. This would make them the only species of frog that is bipedal. The Loveland Frogmen are bipedal frogs as made evident due to their leathery skin as well as their webbed hands and feet. The creatures have frog-like heads with wrinkly skin on top of them. And guess how tall they are?
6.5 feet.
6'7".
They're that's a good guess because all cryptids are 6 foot to 9 foot, you know. But they're actually only about 3 foot, 1 meter, 1 meter tall.
Okay.
Which there-
you European communists with your meters.
Okay. But there's actually some massive bullfrogs that get, I think, about 24 inches.
1/2 meter.
I was putting the pinky up to my finger, by the way.
Indubitably. Every video I'm clicking on to see this thing, it says this video is unavailable.
Wow.
They're taking it down.
They
I
are.
know.
The
Government.
truth's not allowed to exist.
So, the Loveland frog is known to live in Claremont County, Ohio. The creature lives in a temperate forest and is able to survive the cold winters of the region without having to hibernate, which is crazy because it gets cold there, very cold. The frogmen apparently have the physical ability to use sticks like tools. However, these sticks aren't like any other sticks.
They're magic wands.
They also have the ability have an ability as they can use those sticks to emit sparks like a wand.
I knew it.
So it's literally a little wizard running around. It's a widowy, a widow wizard. So this could mean that the frogs have an ability to control electricity in some way. I guess similar to a electric eel, I guess. But these amphibious anomalies have shocked and terrified businessmen.
Quite literally shocked.
Ha.
Exactly.
Businessmen, farmers, and police officers, and remain one of the most intriguing cryptozoological mysteries in the United States.
Yeah, so if you're not a businessman, a farmer, or police, you're good.
You're good.
They won't shock
You
you.
ain't got to worry about it.
It'll just scare you.
One of the most intriguing cases encountered is that of the Loveland Frogmen or Loveland lizards, and the story of these unique creatures begins in May of 1955
Ooh.
on a lonely stretch of road that runs along the Miami River in Claremont County, just on the outskirts of a small town known as Loveland, Ohio.
How ironic to be lonely in a place called Loveland.
Yep.
At approximately 3:30 a.m., a businessman named Robert
Got shocked.
A businessman.
Robert Hunnicott, Hunnicott,
And a good.
claimed to have witnessed three, name them and count them, three
He named them?
George.
Loveland Frogmen, three bipedal quasi-reptilian entities.
I'm trying to. So was he like at the lake or something?
No, he was on a lonely road.
They congregated by the side of the road, and the man pulled his car to the curb and observed them for what he estimated to be about 3 minutes.
So there's just like three frogmen just chilling.
No, they were congregating.
They're just sitting there going like spring peepers. Meep.
So what do you do if you're just driving on a one of the back roads around here, and then you just
See three giant frogmen
run across the
With
street?
little wizard wands.
shocking
He's
each
a
other.
businessman. Get him.
So during this time, he noticed that these strange beings stood between 3 to 4 foot tall, were covered with gray leathery skin, and had webbed hands and feet. Their most distinguishing characteristics, however, was their distinctly frog-like heads, which the man claimed bore deep wrinkles where their hair should have been. So about like my head.
Not quite.
You don't have deep wrinkles, and you have hair.
Barely. Just as the man was about to steal What?
What
About
was
to
it?
steal away.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that's a
It's like
old timey phrase,
it's
but
an
yeah,
old
it's
colloquialism,
Whatever.
steal away.
like the
Run-
ones we were talking about
escape.
earlier.
Yeah. One of the creatures suddenly held what the witness could only describe as a wand above his head. The anonymous source further claimed that sparks spewed out of the end of this device, and he left post haste.
The only businessman to get away from these.
Thus begins the bizarre legend of the Loveland Frogmen.
Oh, so he was the first.
Yes. 1955. This tale would be fascinating enough if it ended there, but the two most significant encounters in this case, and indeed two of the most significant encounters in the history of cryptozoology. It doesn't say history. I just swapped the word. It's ANNALS.
The annals. Yeah. It's like in the annals of history. That's
Yeah, I didn't want to say anals.
That's exactly.
In the annals of history.
That's why I skipped that.
Well,
So these other encounters were yet to come. At about 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972, nearly 17 years after the first report, a police officer who understandably chose to remain anonymous, was traveling along Riverside Road headed towards Loveland when he saw something that would forever change his life. The officer claimed that he was driving slowly due to the substantial amount of ice on the road when he saw what looked like a dog by the curb. Suddenly, the animal departed in front of the cruiser, forcing the officer to slam on brakes in order to avoid a potential collision with the creature. Once the police cruiser came to a halt, its headlights fell upon the prone animal. At this point, the officer described something that seems literally too bizarre to be true. Sorry, there's a guy at work that's been talking like that all week.
Trick, it's you.
yeah, I was like, you. Was you.
Yeah, whatever.
Sorry.
In the span of seconds, this crouched frog-like creature stood on two legs, stared back at the policeman, then scrambled over the guardrail and scurried down the embankment, finally disappearing into the Ohio River.
OH.
IO.
I wonder how, like, you know how frogs have the webbed feet? Did they run and was it like slapping like a duck? Pop, 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 plop.
Maybe, probably.
Scampered away.
So the officer in question described the creature as being 3 to 4 foot tall and weighing in the area of 50 to 75 pounds. He also claimed that its skin had a leathery texture and that the animal's features resembled those of a frog or a lizard. Another officer investigated the scene later that evening. He saw no sign of the creature, but reported that there were distinct scratch marks on the guardrail where the animal had reportedly crossed. So it's got some wicked claws if it's ordered to scratch guardrail. The second sighting occurred 2 weeks later when police officer Mark Matthews, so this is a different police officer,
Yeah.
had an encounter of his own. According to the report, Officer Matthews, while driving into Loveland, also not in Loveland, but driving into Loveland, same scenario, spotted what he believed to be an injured animal lying on the pavement. Again, same scenario.
Was this 1 a.m. again?
It doesn't say. Matthews climbed out of his cruiser with the intention of removing the carcass from the already ice-slicked road when the creature abruptly lurched upwards into a crouched position. Taken back by the frogman's reptilian visage, Matthews unholstered his revolver and took a shot at the creature. So anyway, I started blasting. That's the sound that my revolver makes.
It's not a very good revolver. Anyway, he was determined to deal with a dead body one way or another.
Yeah. Which then proceeded to hobble over the side of the road and step over the guardrail, all while keeping a watchful eye on the trigger-happy officer. Matthews, quote, Frogman, matched the first officer's description down to the last detail, with the exception of a tail, which was absent in earlier reports. So
now they're tadpoles.
Where was the wands?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That little wand should have been shooting right back at him.
he just started blasting.
Having a wizard battle over here.
Maybe he didn't graduate the academy yet.
I guess not.
Is that where all the people that get tattoos of frogs smoking a pipe comes from?
No, it's just something funny.
Oh,
It's just like putting medieval character.
like your raccoons.
Yeah. In the years which have followed these events, Officer Matthews has regained somewhat. What?
It sounded like a real life one of Jeremy's cuts.
Reneged. Reneged?
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
Come on, y'all. You're smarter than me.
You're reading it.
Whatever. Somewhat on his tail, he now claims that the animal in question was nothing more than a large reptile which escaped from its owner. He further insists that the only reason he shot at the creature was to help confirm a fellow officer's story.
Whoa. Hold on. If an officer says that guy had a gun, and then a week later, I just shot at him because I thought he had. I wanted to confirm if he had a gun.
Yeah.
Wow, sounds like there's some cops from one of these. Never mind. L.A.
A story which was, of course, being met with predictable skepticism by their superiors. Whether or not Matthew's change of heart was inspired by ridicule or the fading memory of an event from which he was 30 years removed, the fact remains that his own testimony counter-indicates his later retractions. So, I mean, if this guy was going to retract his story out of ridicule and stuff like that, I think it would have been a little bit sooner. But for some reason, he decided to change it 30 years later.
Yeah, that's kind of.
That's weird.
Like just fishy.
And plus it's in the middle of the winter. There's ice on the roads. You're not going to have a reptile running around on the roads and be quick enough to be able to escape.
I don't know.
Now look at the iguanas in South Florida. They literally fall out of the trees.
Look at them, Vandy.
When it hits like 40 degrees, they fall out of the trees.
That's because they're weak. These are human sized.
Well, he's claiming that they were. It was just a baby little.
It's just a large reptile, what are those called?
Iguanas.
No. They're
Reptilians?
no. Listen, Linda.
I'm trying to help you so I can listen.
They're like Komodo dragons, but they're much, much smaller.
Caimans?
Those are a crocodilian.
Still reptile?
Yes, but
Baby Komodo dragon.
okay. Anyway, y'all depict this. Y'all know the shape that I'm talking about. listeners,
Godzilla.
no, they're like that, except they have a longer head and they're skinnier. They run really fast. That's probably like what he's talking about.
He shot
Anyway,
at it to make sure.
yeah, he shot at it. So, in a 2001 email interview, Officer Mark Matthews, now retired, explained that the incident was habitually blown out. Habitually blown out of proportion. He stated that it was and is no monster. It was not leathery or had wet, matted fur. It was not 3 to 5 foot tall. It did not stand erect. The animal I saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet that either got too large for its aquarium, which it wouldn't be an aquarium,
And started walking on its back legs.
escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it. It was less than 3 foot in length, ran across the road, and was probably blinded by my headlights. It presented no aggressive action. Matthews attempted to shoot the creature in order to back up the account of his partner's sighting a few nights prior, but the lizard escaped, most likely to die from its injury or from the bitter freezing cold. Yeah. Even if he saw a straight up lizard from somebody's home that they let out,
It's too big.
it would have had to have been literally 2 minutes prior from getting out of the car
Yeah.
to be able to run off, because if it had been out there for any length of time, especially several days prior from the other officer's account, it would have been dead the night of. So that's weird.
He's lying.
Somebody's lying. A frogman was spotted in mid-August in 2016 by Sam Jacobs and his girlfriend while they were playing Pokemon Go
Oh, boy.
in Cincinnati.
Pokemons are demons.
The location of the sighting casts doubt on its authenticity. There is a lack of precedent for hold up.
Wait a minute.
Put a little love in it.
I like that you made that reference
Why?
because I love the Backstreet Boys.
I always make that reference, and it's in sync.
There is a lack of precedent
Yeah, we don't have enough presidents.
for a bipedal frog. Additionally, the frogmen live in Ohio. Golly. The frogmen live in Ohio, which is a very human populated region of the United States of America.
Yep.
The creature is only known from one specific region, and there is seemingly no Native American folklore of this creature. There is no video evidence that did not come from a suspicious encounter, and the creature seems to have unusual, perhaps supernatural abilities. So, possible explanation is, while there are no known bipedal frogs in nature, it is also possible that these frog species often rest in a position with only their hind legs on the ground, making them look bipedal.
I think what they actually are frog babies with the frog and Bigfoot.
Huh. Okay.
Speaking of hybrids, I promise you, I know what a sparrow looks like and the shape in a cardinal. I saw a sparrow and the head was red like a cardinal.
It happens.
That's weird. Are you sure it wasn't a female cardinal?
I don't know,
Because,
but it was as small as a sparrow, like really small.
okay. But
So-
it had a really red head?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to take a picture of it and I couldn't because I'm a loser.
It was probably just a species of finch. So
Hey, perfect sense. Enough said. Anyhow,
you just
I was putting it all together.
Your look of defeat was just.
Sometimes you gotta accept your fate, man, and just realize it's probably a finch. I wanted it to be a spernel or cardro.
A sparrow cardinal.
Yeah. I don't know how the bird kingdom works, man.
Yeah. Okay.
This light's getting on my nerves now.
It is very unlikely for a frog species to have the intelligence necessary for tool use, but somewhat more likely that the Loveland Frogmen are a frog species intelligent enough to collect objects, possibly to create a structure to live in or as a mating display similar to some bird species. That's it.
So when they shocked the business person, they were trying to mate?
Hello?
Is that what they're saying?
I mean, you said it.
No, they said it.
You said it.
True. You said it. You said they used them to mate. They only used it with the business guy.
So, as I was reading this and found this out, this video came to mind. There's a video of a frogman in Cancun, Mexico. 99% likely it's AI
No.
because it came out last year.
It's AI.
But I haven't watched this specific video on the Instagram page that it is. Oh, it looks like it's just a radio show reacting to the video.
Who listens to radio anymore?
True.
Either way, I'm going to, because it's the only video that I can actually find of it right now. Oh, man. Where'd it go? Okay. Here's a different video of it. Let me know when y'all see it. Can you put it up on the screen,
That's what I was waiting
Vandy?
Yeah. Hang on.
Now, Ninjas of Butterflies talked about this.
They also talked about mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah, they did.
I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
It's so weird. I know that they're not copying us because we're coming out with the same episode each week.
Well, no.
But
you know they're not copying us because they aren't watching us. Or
Yeah,
we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even know we exist.
I know.
So
But it's just
that's how you know they're not
it's
copying
just
us.
annoying because they must have the same exact algorithm as us.
As you.
As I get, sure.
They 90% of their stuff that's the same as yours.
That is not the video I sent you.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
Look what they're talking about on the comments. That frog can feed a whole village.
Okay, maybe go to the very beginning of the video.
That's kind of mean because they're talking about this guy being the frog.
Yeah.
Go to the very beginning of the video.
How?
Refresh the page.
I mean, it's AI, obviously, right?
No. The shadows are too good.
That's AI.
It looks like someone's mom.
It's AI and there's no wand.
I know. It's crazy. That video went viral for a while because it just looks so good. But obviously, you can see when it's running off the roof that it starts levitating off the roof.
I didn't see that at all.
didn't either.
Its feet are completely off the roof and it's still like running.
And you were asking if it was AI?
No, I didn't see that until just now. The only part of the video that I had seen was when it was like opening up its mouth and stuff like that.
I had not seen. I didn't see it do that because I stopped paying attention because it looked really bad.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, my brain went to that when I was reading that. I was going to say it. Goes all the way down to Cancun, Mexico. But so the Loveland Frogmen, is it real?
No.
Yes.
No and yes. Okay. So what did they see?
Whatever they told you they saw.
Oh yeah. So you believe them?
Yeah, because reputable people, farmers, good men, businessmen, sometimes good men.
Who was the farmer?
He said only farmers.
Yeah.
businessmen.
Who was the farmer?
Maybe it's Pokemon, the Pokemon Go, they were farming Pokemon.
I don't know, dude.
You said farmers.
I know the article said farmer.
Farmers, police officers,
Who weren't even there. Farmers.
and businessmen.
businessmen.
Terrible.
They
And
wanted to mate with the businessmen, and then they just messed with the police officers. Didn't even shock them. They just
But got shot at.
said, ah.
I'm going to confirm this guy's what he says he is, or
Yeah.
what my partner says he is.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I just shot so that this guy, other guy I know wouldn't look bad.
Speaking of police officers, did you see in California, police officer rolls up to two other cops and from the department, quote, horseplay. One officer draws, points it at another police officer.
Yeah.
I saw
heard about
this.
Gets shot.
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
The
Yeah.
lady shot the guy. So
shocker, right? Yeah. So the cop pulls up, and there's two cops with the back hatch open of their car, and the one guy on the right pulls his gun out, aims it at the other officer in the car that just pulled up, and then holsters the weapon again. And then
So
from
stupid.
the footage from inside the vehicle, the camera inside the vehicle shows him getting hit in the shoulder.
Yep.
And like a puff of dust from the glass. And then the female officer running out of the car and going over there and to try to help him. So she pulled the gun back out and pointed it at him,
And
but
then
she
pulled the trigger.
actually pulled the trigger.
Was she playing too, or was she
Yeah,
actually?
she was playing,
So
quote,
was-
air quotes,
so
but
was
both
it-
of them are stupid and deserve to go to prison.
So it wasn't he pulled the gun out saying, "Oh, I'm just playing," and then she overreacted, or
No.
not
No.
overreacted.
From
Honestly,
the-
it would have been a valid
From
reaction,
the
but
police department, they said
she-
horseplay,
but she was also like, "Oh, this is funny," but then she didn't know how to not.
not shoot.
Yeah.
What
But
idiots.
the guy shouldn't have even started that.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
no
he
way.
should
He
have been.
should have been fired in the first place.
He
And the other-
deserved to get shot.
the other
In fact,
officer-
her story would have been better if she was like, "Bro, he pulled his gun on me. What was I supposed to do?" I would have been on her side.
Obviously, this has happened before. Because the officer standing beside the guy was smiling and laughing.
Yeah.
So this action has happened before.
What idiots!
Yes.
What idiots!
California.
So I hate it, but they deserve what happened to them.
Yeah, yes, he should have got shot. He should have.
Both of them.
Point of
I don't
gun.
want to.
Apparently,
I don't want them to be seriously injured or their life threatened in that way. But
but the moment, never mind.
a good shot in the arm
It's always good for
sets everybody straight.
Well, it's California. I wouldn't say they're straight.
you. That was a pretty gay move. You shot me.
So
What'd you expect?
stupid,
Yeah,
man.
stupid.
You know what else is
Absolutely
stupid? A
Yeah.
talking mongoose named Jeff with a G.
Geff.
This story is kind of dumb.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Oof.
So Vandy said he's heard the story. Have you heard this story? Does this sound familiar to you?
I genuinely don't think I've.
I hope you haven't. I was hoping neither of you would have because it's very.
I'll act like I haven't.
It's interesting. It's interesting. So, I'm going to present it like a story because I always try to do that. This revolves around the Irving family. James is the father. And James was a former salesman for a piano company, and he loved languages and
Pianos.
talking. He loved learning different languages and talking. He would talk a lot. And he was open-minded. He would kind of believe anything. Okay. His wife was Margaret. She was quiet and strange. She was just weird, and people
Me too.
kind of talked about her, and they said she was they thought she might have been a witch. And then
What year was this?
they had a daughter, their
Okay.
youngest daughter, in 1918. So I was about to tell you the year.
Oh, so a little late for people to think that she's a witch, huh?
Well, yeah, it wasn't like she's a witch burner, but more like
She's a witch.
Stay
burner.
away from her.
Yeah.
she might have something going on with her.
Okay.
So not the 1700s witch like thinking, but anyway, so they had their youngest daughter in 1918 named Vori. They had two other children, but they were much older. They were pretty much old enough to be out of the house already by the time the youngest was born. But they had two other children, Gilbert and Elsie, but they weren't really involved in most of what happens here. So that's who the story is about or is involved. There was a farm called, I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but Dorlish Cashin, or in English, Cashin's Gap. So that's just what I'm going to call it from now on. And it sat on a hill
Far, far away.
near Dalby. This is in the, well, I'm about to tell you where it is. On the Isle of Man, which is the small island in the Irish Sea between Ireland and England. So it's a small farm. I want to say small. It's 70 acres on a hill, kind of away from everything. Before the Irvings owned it, the land already had a reputation. Some local men one time were digging in the area, and they turned up a flat stone that had an urn. Underneath it was an urn of ashes, and they reburied it. Sometime later, some guy came by hunting rabbits and reached under that same hedge, thinking the rabbit would have been there, and was shoved backward by an invisible force. And he kind of pushed back quite a bit, so he goes back up there and tries to get under there again, and he gets pushed even harder, and he goes down the hill, which is strange. Another man swore a voice followed him 3 miles one night on the road, singing hymns and telling him to live better, to be better.
Singing hymns. I love it. I'll fly away.
And then the estate once belonged to an eccentric French refugee named Pierre Baum, and the locals said he haunted it.
It's always the French.
So that's the background of where they are. So the Irvings originally were in Liverpool, and that's where James worked as a traveling sales agent for a Canadian piano company. Then World War I happens. The company more or less falls apart because of the war. He loses his job. In November 1916, he buys Cashin's Gap. At this point, the house was already really old. He says at least 130 years old, but some people say maybe even older than that. And it's worn down. The area is worn down, so they can't move in. It's not secure or safe enough to actually move in and live in the house, so they spend time fixing it up. In May of 1917, he hired 2 men from Peel to help fixing things up. But rather than having them have to walk and come back, he arranged for them to stay there while working. But on the second night, both men came to James' cottage to tell them they were leaving. And when he asked why, they were like, "Oh, we just have another job we have to do," and they left. But later, the 2 men came out and said the real reason why they left was because there was some weird stuff going on, and it made them feel very uncomfortable. They heard some weird stuff, and they just did not want to be around anymore. So
Weird.
at this point, their son Gilbert takes over and finishes getting the place prepped, and they move in September.
Okay.
after everything gets settled, Gilbert and Elsie, their 2 kids, go back to the mainland and don't live in the house with their parents. And in March, their youngest is born, March 1918, Vori. During their time living here at first, they didn't really go to the city much. They didn't really fit in because everybody living here were country people and they were city people. And this is where people started saying Margaret was witch-like.
Uh-oh.
And that people didn't want to be around her. They felt weird around her. In 1931, so they've been living here for 13 years, a tapping began late at night between the wooden ceiling and the roof. James just thought it was mice, climbed up to look, and found nothing except an Indian wood carving, which is very weird for an Indian wood carving to be there.
Like a Native American? Or
No. Indian.
The country Indian.
Yes.
What
But
in the world?
Still weird. But he finds an Indian wood carving sitting in the middle of the attic, something he's never seen before, and he definitely didn't put there. He picked it up and dropped it, and the sound it made when it hit the ground and kind of like rolled a little bit sounded like the scratching sounds they had. So what they heard was this thing falling, which is weird.
Falling every night.
Yes. So, but that was that. So he's like, okay, this is the sound, and whatever. A couple nights later, tapping began again. But this time it sounded like an animal scurrying around, carrying something, dragging something.
Bless you, sir.
Sorry. So James was like, okay, this isn't a mouse. And he said it out loud. He's like, this isn't a mouse. And when he did, the creature started barking like a dog, then hissing like a cat, and then growling, and then looped, started barking, hissing, growling, and just kept looping. There was a loud crack, a picture frame shook on the far wall, and then it got quiet. And it all stopped. In October, he and Vori saw it briefly running about. And they said it was about 9 inches long with yellowish fur, kind of looking like a weasel.
Y'all got some weird dogs.
Then the sounds begin to change a little bit between animal noises and kind of like a baby babbling.
I want my baby back. Baby back.
James, like this is, and this was like,
I want my baby back.
yes, James was tired. Well, not really tired, but like this kept happening. So James, kind of bored and having nothing else to do, just started talking when the creature started making sounds. So when the creature barked, James said out loud, dog. When it hissed, he said cat. He would do this. And then suddenly...
It's just a man at his wits end.
And then suddenly the sound from the other side of the wall, instead of making those sounds, started repeating the words to him. So when he said dog, he would hear like a faint someone trying to say the word dog. When he said cat, he'd hear cat. And this continued for weeks.
Just on repeat.
Every night.
Okay, so first of all, if that happened on the first night,
Every
I'd
night.
I'd start blasting.
Like that cop. I just wanted to make sure.
I was just...
I wouldn't let it go on for weeks with a guy in my attic repeating after me.
Oh, you think it's a guy in your attic.
And then, but as time went
Whatever.
on, as time went on, the voice became better at saying the words, and then was very articulate and very well. Like it went from barely being able to say it to no problems with it.
And this guy's laying in bed saying dog, cat.
Meow.
over and over again.
Yes. So, but Irving's like, there's no way that if this is an animal learning to talk, because he's convinced it's an animal learning to talk, he's like, there's no way that it actually would learn this fast. And he started having this weird feeling.
Oh, that's his his concern.
Yes. So he started having this
Just
weird
too fast.
feeling that it was faking it, that it actually could
It's
speak
smart enough to fake it now.
He thought it could have spoken the entire time, but it was just acting and pretending like he was teaching it to talk to make him
I'm
feel
gonna go home,
like
look
a
at my
parrot.
dogs, and be like, "Speak to me."
Like a parrot can mimic, but it
no,
can't.
no. More so like this thing knew how to talk, but was messing with James to make James think he was teaching it,
Okay.
just to toy with him, just to.
He thinks it's outsmarting him.
Yes, basically. So by now,
This guy.
now it had its own distinct voice that was high pitched, higher than most people could talk. And at first, it called itself Jack and claimed to be a weasel. So it started actually having conversation with him,
Hi, I'm Jack the Weasel.
basically.
At least it's not Jack the Ripper.
So for about 6 months,
And still no sighting of this thing.
no, they saw it once.
Well, yeah, but once, but they just barely saw it.
Yes.
Whatever.
For about 6 months, it started messing with them and borderline torturing, messing like
Yeah.
poltergeist level, whatever. It ran behind the wall paneling, banging on the walls and laughing, a laugh that they said was satanic. It spat through holes. It left puddles of urine. It threw rocks at them. It tormented Margaret, very cruelly, narrating as she would undress for bed. It mocked James and called him a devil and screamed at him to lie back down when he sat up. When it would do stuff, he'd react to it and it'd yell at him, "Go back, lay back down." And also, it was also very foul mouthed, so there's like cussing and stuff
Oh wow.
mixed in with all this.
And it only could learn it from him.
Yeah,
he's laying it.
James actually taught him.
He's laying at night cursing up at his ceiling.
Okay.
No, that's not what the story says. When James would go to the bathroom, it would announce to the whole house that he's going to the bathroom.
Yeah, at that point.
And now,
Just start shooting.
And then,
So are you sure your house just isn't possessed with a lot of rats?
Are you sure about it?
Possessed and, well, haunted, I should say. Your house is haunted, or your house has a demon, and there's a bunch of rats running around.
He's going to the bathroom.
so then it started saying that it was a ghost in the form of a weasel, and it was going to hurt Vori.
Okay.
So James decided to do something about it. And what he did was he borrowed a rat trap from his neighbor, telling him he had weasels in the wall. And later, his neighbor asked if he caught it, and James just replied, "No, it started talking."
Wow.
Very nonchalant.
Imagine being this guy's neighbor.
2 months in, he started leaving out bread laced with poison, and that didn't work. One night, the house was filled with 20 minutes with screaming.
Wow.
Just it screaming and yelling. And every time they would look for it, there was nothing there. And then it would be quiet. And then days later, it would just scream again for like half an hour.
Whatever. This thing's weird.
And then it started attacking Vori directly. And they had to move her into their bedroom. And the voice yelled and screamed and swore it would follow her wherever she went. And they barricaded their door. And that night, the entire night, the door was like rattled and shaken. And a pot was flown across the room.
Yeah, so there's a demon in your house.
Then one evening, out of nowhere, it just said, "I don't like the name Jeff or Jack. Call me Jeff." And then it spelled out GEF.
Wow.
And then it said, "Oh, also, I'm not actually a ghost. I'm just an extra special mongoose that happens to be able to talk." And it said that it was born in India in 1852 and came to England by way of Egypt. And then it starts talking about old family friends and their other children and stuff that happened in the past that it should not have known.
Yeah, it's simple. It's a demon.
But most importantly, once he changed his name to Jeff, he stopped being as much of a tormentor and attacking all the time, and just kind of became a guy that was hanging out in their house walls.
The world.
My name is Jeff.
They started noticing that food was that they would, I don't know why they would leave out food for him, but they would leave out food for him that he wouldn't eat before because he's like, I don't need to eat. But now he started eating that. And particularly, he liked lean bacon, bananas, and chocolates.
Me too.
He told them he had hands with 3 fingers, and he had a good enough grip. He had a good enough grip to throw stuff because there had been stuff that was thrown around. He also had his own spot in the house. They think that he was where he would sleep, that he called his sanctum. And when they left their food there, that's where when he would eat it. And at night, they would sometimes hear him shoving a chair around, and he told him that was him exercising.
Oh, shut up.
I'm exercising.
He also liked to sing, and he sang in English and Spanish, and what he insisted was Hindi, because he was from India. He had phrases that he would repeat or say a lot, such as nuts, which is just a word, not a phrase. He would say, "Hello, everybody," or a cheerful vanished when he was going to leave.
He'd just say, "Vanished."
And then just be gone for a while.
Nuts.
Or, "Hello, everybody."
Wow.
He would also kind of just know everything that was going on in the house at all times. Just like he had complete sentience over like everyone that's in the house, no matter who they are, what they were doing.
Yeah,
he could see everything that was happening.
Yeah, because that's what a demon does.
His most famous trick was the penny game, where a visitor would come in and flip a coin out on the porch, and Jeff would call it right every single time, and even called out people who were trying to cheat.
Wait, a visitor? So there's people other than
Yes.
the homeowners that came and witnessed this.
Yes.
Is there an account of what they thought?
Not detailed.
Odd.
He would also know other things, like he would tell Margaret what James was doing when he was out in the fields, or like when he would go into town, he would know what James was doing, or he would like visit other people's homes and spy on them, and then come and bring them gossip about the neighbors.
That's weird.
Telling them conversations and stuff going on with accuracy. He also tried to be useful sometimes.
After his name change.
Yes. After he changed his name, he still liked to do mischievous stuff. He would still mess with them.
This guy said, "Okay, I'm getting a bad reputation. How can I change that?"
Jeff. Jack's no good. Jeff. So he, like I said, he's still mischievous. He still does some stuff to trick them, but he also is like, I kind of like you guys.
You know, you tolerated me for a while during my rough stage.
He would bring home dead rabbits for them to cook.
All the while, they still haven't seen this guy.
Well, they've seen him like once or twice.
Well,
Supposedly, I skipped this part because it's too absurd. But supposedly, they've seen him enough and let him like be there with them because he ate out of Margaret's hand.
Oh, so okay,
But
yeah.
again. It's like, okay,
So they have seen him twice.
at least.
Okay.
But yeah, he'd bring home dead rabbits that they'd be dead, but there'd be no real marks on them or any sign of. They'd be strangled, but there's no sign or marks on them. And family wouldn't just eat them; they'd sell them for some income.
You want to buy some dead rabbits?
Until Jeff realized that he's not getting anything out of this deal and said, "If you don't pay me, I'm going to go on strike." So he stopped doing it.
I don't believe any of this.
He went from targeting their daughter to now protecting her, being very protective of her. There was even some bullies that Jeff heard about and vowed to kill their turkeys. And it wasn't that much longer, or it was like just a few more days went by, and their ducks and turkeys on that farm were gone. So, but then he would also randomly say stuff like, "I could kill you all if I liked or wanted, but I won't."
That I won't. That's a friendly guy to make deals with.
And weirdly enough, the geese on their farm, because they always had geese in their ponds and stuff, would always seem to know when Jeff was going to be there. Because like Jeff would just disappear, be gone. And then he'd come back. And a lot of times when Jeff came back, before they started hearing him talk, the geese would go crazy.
It's odd.
But just the geese, because other animals would not notice at all. Like they had a dog, and their dog never seemed to notice it. By January 1932, rumors had spread, and so a newspaper called the Daily Dispatch sent a journalist to see it for himself. So he made his way to the farm, met James outside, and told him he's here to see whether or not it's true, to see if your house is haunted. And James said, "Oh no, we're not haunted. There's no ghosts here." And then he said, "I am worried that these stories are starting to bring people in who want to see it, and it's kind of making it hard to sell the farm." And so then he's like, "Well, come on in. Let's go inside and I'll talk." So the reporter went in with him. And so James has explained to him, "We're not haunted, but we have a mongoose living in our walls. And it likes to talk to us. And it sometimes will talk to us in English, German, Yiddish, Spanish, Flemish, and Hebrew."
And Hebrew.
Yeah, because this guy liked languages.
Yes, and James was excited about it because he liked languages. It's a detail I'm glad you remembered. And he's like, "We can have," it's like, and this isn't just like random talking. It's like it has conversations with us and tells us things about what's going on around in the village nearby. And they're like, "And the creature has never once stolen any food and done anything of real substantial harm," which is kind of not true, but
Yeah.
you know.
He's lying.
And then he told the reporter several of the people in the area who'd come to the farm and heard the voice for themselves. So the journalist heard enough and turned to leave, but he never heard Jeff. Jeff never made himself known while he was there.
Shocker.
So as he's leaving, but right as he gets to the door, James calls for him. And he pauses, and James says, he says, like quietly, like whispering, like secretive, saying, "Hey, come back. Jeff just started talking with my wife in the bedroom." So the reporter and him go over there to like eavesdrop.
Yeah, because that'll work because he plays the penny game.
So yeah, as if Jeff's not going to know. But they made it to the door, and the reporter heard it for himself. A strange, high-pitched voice that he says he doesn't believe a human could make. And it was indeed speaking to Margaret. And she was trying to get him to talk because she's like, hey, the reporter already left and we know you didn't want the reporter coming in. But he's gone now, you can talk. And Jeff briefly disagreed with her and told her the reporter didn't leave at all, that he could hear him whispering and in the other room with James right now. And then it said, I won't talk to these people. They're all liars. And then didn't talk again for the rest of the day. So he just had a few words, and that was spoken intentionally so the reporter would hear him and leave. So he knew they were listening and basically said, I'm not talking to you people. You're all liars. So the reporter left, not fully believing that something really was happening, but believing that James believed it.
I could see that. That makes sense to me.
That was where the reporter stood. Around the same time, James and his daughter saw a large tiger-striped creature with an almost bulldog head, no tail, but too big to be a native cat. And they were panicked about it because they're like, what is this? And then Jeff said, oh, that was just me. I can shapeshift.
Okay.
Like I said, this is stupid. So around this time, a man named Harry Price started hearing about this. Price was a well-known psychic researcher with a reputation of exposing frauds. So he believed in psychic stuff, but he also just as much believed in finding fake stuff. He didn't believe everything he heard. And so he heard about this from a letter passed along from a woman named Florence, relaying some rumors. And then in February, he got a letter directly from one of Irving's own neighbors. However, Price was sick at the time, so he sent Captain Harold Dennis in his place.
Good old Harold.
Harold was a Red Cross ambulance driver and an amateur zoologist who kept exotic animals. Dennis even offered to bring a real mongoose, but Jeff said he would kill it.
Bet.
Yeah, but the one I got,
Jeff stands on business.
Pretty much.
I'll keep the one I got in my attic, but new one, no, I'll kill it.
So Dennis's first visit didn't go well. Jeff stayed silent for hours and then spoke only as Dennis stepped out to the door, saying, "Go away." Then the next morning, Jeff demanded a gift for Vori, either a camera or a gramophone, and said he'd watched Dennis the night before and disliked him. While Dennis was there the next day, a needle flew at him from a hole in the wall. And near the hole was a puddle, and James said that was a pee puddle.
Nice.
So Dennis reported back to Price that he felt that James Irving was a trustworthy witness. Or in other words, same thing as the reporter. Everything that he's saying, at the very least, he believes it, even if it's not true. He's not trying to trick anybody. And he was more so suspicious of his wife and his daughter. So a few years later, Dennis comes back and visits again. This time, things were a little different. He met James at the Waterfall Inn for lunch before going to their house, and they had a walk at the beach and just were talking about things. During their conversation, Dennis made a weird comment saying it was odd. He felt like Jeff was there with them. And James explained that's probably true. Jeff quite frequently will follow James even 4 miles away while he's in town. While they were talking, Captain Dennis picked up a flower and put it in the buttonhole of his jacket. then they went to the farm, and Margaret met them and told them Jeff already knew everything and told them what they had just done about lunch, the conversation they had, even that Dennis picked the flower, which really shocked Captain Dennis. He was like, how would you know this? There's zero, because this is obviously before phones, before any of that, so there was no way he could have told her, hey, this is all the stuff that happened. Pretend like we know. Like, there's no way that could have communicated. So he's like, how did you know? One thought that people had been saying that he considered was that Margaret was psychic, but he kind of dismissed that idea.
No, they're just crazy.
Dennis was more suspicious of the daughter because he thought that she was a ventriloquist and could throw her voice. So he's like, most likely what's happening is the daughter is like hiding somewhere,
fooling around with it
and banging on the walls when no one's looking and like throwing her voice. And it's just her messing with people because her and her mom are weird. They probably cooked this plan up or something. But then she left the house to go out into the farmyard. And while she was gone, Jeff started talking. So Dennis' first reaction was to see where she was, to see how close she was. And maybe she like went out to fake leaving and then, was hiding or something. Yeah. So he went out to the window and saw her really far away. Like too far for this to be her. And even if it somehow was her, it was saying stuff. There's no way she would have been able to see that far away. So now Dennis is like, maybe there's something really going on here. That night, he heard Jeff again, and they weren't they were walking, and it was just him and James. So it couldn't have been the wife or the daughter. Dennis didn't really know what was happening, but he was more intrigued and more convinced than his last visit. So he reported back to Harry Price. Harry Price was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll come check it out. So he arranges a trip with his associate, Richard Lambert, who is a higher social stature than Price has. So it's another really important bigwig kind of person. So at this point, they're like, okay, Price is taking it seriously, and this is like one of the real investigator people who figures out fraud. And if he's thinking maybe there's something here, maybe there's something here. But before he came, Price said, send me a sample of Jeff's fur. So the family left scissors in the area Jeff had called his sanctum where they'd leave him food, and wasn't that much longer that a clump of fluff appeared there in that spot. So they got it and mailed it to Price, who investigated it and said it was just dog fur. James was like, oh, he was just pulling a prank on you because he doesn't like you, and he was probably just our dog, and haha, it was a funny joke. Price was like, yeah, or you're faking it. And Jeff was upset that he was coming, and so Jeff went away for several days. But Price still showed up July 30th with the other guy. And Jeff doesn't say anything at all. The two men left around midnight, unconvinced that it was real. But just like everybody else, super convinced that the Irvings believed something, especially James. Price wants to kind of get away from just James. He wants to talk with Vori alone. And she's okay with it, but her dad says, oh, I'm not going to let her go by herself. And they have an argument about it, so that never happens. Price asks for her to come to London, and James says no. And then he says, I can go with you if you want one of us to go with you to talk about it. And the only thing Price really got out of this was a theory about wooden paneling, which he was told could carry the sound in a way that let a voice travel. So again, he's thinking someone's throwing their voice. So that was whatever. Then in October, Dennis came for the final time. And when he arrived at their farm, they told him Jeff had left to the Waterfall Inn to watch for him to show up, but he hadn't come back yet. And it wasn't until 9:30 he came back, the geese screaming, so that was their sign. Oh, he's back. But he didn't do anything until 11 o'clock when the daughter went to bed. And then he was back to his old ways of being violent and mean. Then he told Dennis to go upstairs and look, and they found her door locked from the outside, something she could not have done. They unlocked the door, found her lying in bed just fine, while above their head something could be heard scurrying around. And then for the next 15 minutes, Jeff wouldn't shut up. He just kept blabbing and banging around the house and screaming and throwing metal chains.
Nice. Very nice. Metal chains.
For some reason, at this point, Dennis asks to hear him do his sinister laugh. I have no idea why. And so he does his satanic laugh, which makes Dennis very uncomfortable. And it's like, well, duh. Well, I don't understand why he would just be like, hey, do that creepy laugh.
Yeah, let me hear it.
Every so often, Dennis would bolt into the hall or to the stairs with his lantern, trying to see what was going on, thinking, oh, I'm going to catch whoever this is. And every time he does, there's no one there. And it started annoying Jeff, who kind of cussed him out and called him a slur. And at one point, Dennis was certain the voice was coming from the wooden paneling behind where Margaret was sitting, which fed the suspicion that the voices were coming from inside the walls. And this went on until 3 a.m. when Jeff ended the night with a threat saying he was going to throw a brick at Dennis while he slept. Which I guess was a good time for Dennis to be like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. I guess he wanted a brick thrown at him. I don't know. But there was no bricks thrown. But at 7 a.m, Jeff yells at him, get up, Dennis. So Dennis returned to England that day and kept in touch with them for the following years. He now believed Jeff existed, but he didn't know what Jeff really was.
A demon. That's what it is, a demon.
In 1936, Price and Lambert published their account based on their staying and the reports from Captain Dennis. Price suspected James of being after money, that it was, and agreed to split profits after costs. But the book didn't do well at all.
Shocker.
So, but what it did do is lead to court. In November, Lambert found himself mocked by colleagues who argued that a man who believed in a talking mongoose had no business serving on the board with them.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So he sued, and the trial became one of the most absurd pieces of British legal history, with days spent debating Jeff, including a stretch on the correct plural of mongoose.
Wow.
Stupid.
Lambert walked away with 7,500 pounds in damages, and was the only person to really make money from any of this. The Irvings never made money. The Price never made money from his books. There was no money to be found in this story. There was another man who was investigating, a Hungarian parapsychologist, Nander Fodor. And he probably spent the longest amount of time in their home. He started following it around 1931. And in 1937, after publishing an article on the idea of animal spirits the year before, he finally went to their island in search of Jeff. When he met the family, he was thinking Margaret Irving might be the sort of person to be a psychic. Margaret herself apparently believed she might have some sort of innate ability she didn't know how to control. She didn't really know. And it was weird because Jeff called her a witch sometimes too. But whatever. Fodor never had a direct encounter with Jeff across the entire week he stayed there. The closest he came one night was while using the restroom, he heard something thrown against the roof. But he did interview the family at length, with many locals who claim to have witnessed some of the activity at the farm. Interestingly, I don't know why I'm reading that word, Fodor's first takeaway echoed James's early instinct. Jeff, he said, is not a poltergeist, not a spirit, not a ghost.
Sure.
Fodor found himself drawn to the idea that because Jeff could spit, pee, and cough and eat, that Jeff really was just an extra clever little mongoose.
No.
That was his initial conclusion.
No.
But as he learned more, and not just more about this scenario, but in the future, he studied more on other affairs. He says, I was not yet equipped with adequate psychoanalytical knowledge to conduct an exploration of James Irving's unconsciousness. His dream life, I am confident, would have given sorely needed clues to understand the intellectual development of Jeff. Fodor came to believe that Jeff really might have been a psychological projection from James himself. A man who was bored and lonely, starved of mental stimulation, and that one evening he just kind of had a breakdown and accidentally invented Jeff by thinking about it, and then it became real because he had that ability he didn't know he had. It was like a manifestation.
Even that's far-fetched.
One of the clues he said helped this the most theory was that in later years, so this is like in the future, Jeff was apparently heard begging James to let him go. Like basically like, free me from this. I don't want to exist anymore. Please just let me die.
Well, I could always just leave the house.
Not if he's a manifestation from Jeff, and Jeff was James, and James was controlling him.
He's fighting himself. Inner demons.
There's another account of Fodor's. There's like two versions of Fodor's conclusions. There's that one, and then another one was that instead of it being James who created Jeff, it was actually the daughter. But a similar scenario. It was a manifestation of her subconscious. But instead of being like boredom and whatever, it was from the isolation of the farm. And that she was like an imaginative little girl, 13 years old.
Yeah.
And so that was his thinking. By the late 1930s, Jeff started coming around less and less. Is he more selective about who he'd speak to? Vori pulled away from him entirely, saying she hated him and wished he'd never come. but never in her life denied he existed. Never said he wasn't real. In 1940, she left the farm. And in 1942, supposedly, he stirred up and started doing stuff again, but there's not much details. In 1944, James gets sick, and his eldest daughter, who never believed any of this, thought all this was just completely made up, came back to nurse him. And over those months she was there helping him, she did say she heard weird sounds, and that it escalated the most when her sister Vandy was there. James died in August 1945. As he died, a brush on the mantelpiece began to move on its own, as though someone were sweeping, and it stopped the moment he died. Margaret believed it was Jeff saying goodbye to his friend. Shortly after that, they sold the house for £140, and the local who bought it was Robert Cuban, who bought it saying, "Oh yeah, that thing's not real, it's fake." But then later, not that much longer, he sold it and didn't want to be there anymore, never saying why. The next owner tried to improve the place, and in 1947, he was in the papers holding what looked like a dead polecat, claiming he killed the creature after it attacked him one night, and the press ran the story of he killed Jeff.
Just turned on him.
Nice.
And then in 1971, the farmhouse was demolished. Vori refused to talk about it for the most part the rest of her life. She never took any money on it. And the one time she spoke about it was in 1970, saying Jeff vanished at the end of the 30s and that he ruined her life and that she hated him and she wished he never showed up, and said it was his fault she couldn't get married or have a family, and said she hated that people said it was her doing ventriloquism stuff, because she said, if I could do that, I would have got a job doing that and be making money. I would not be poor.
Nice. Blame the poorness.
No, I did not. She said it wasn't a hoax, but she wished it was.
So we have one sibling saying it's all fake and the other saying it's real.
This whole story is a bunch of nothing.
Well, the one saying it fake wasn't living there. She just heard them talking about it and thought her family was stupid.
Yeah.
In 1996, they tried to make a movie. And wanted her to be involved, and she said no.
Good for her.
And basically, that's the end of it. Was it a hoax? Was it
That
something
would have been a
weird?
stupid movie.
Yeah.
I think it's just something weird. More than likely, just a hoax.
Yeah, I think this guy didn't have much going on.
I think it was an extra special mongoose.
You think so?
Yes, it was just a mongoose.
Just a mongoose.
Just a mongoose.
I think it was a hoax, and the urine that they were finding was rat urine.
I think he was defecating on himself.
The stuff being thrown was
smoke and
and
mirrors.
voices. If they did hear voices and seen things thrown, demonic. That's final opinion.
Just a mongoose.
Just a mongoose.
Named Jeff. First name Jack, and then Jeff.
Yeah, it's just.
From India.
I mean, with that not totem, but that statue thing, whatever, up there, that's Indian statue. Yeah.
Yeah, he put it there. He brought it with him from India. Proof.
It was all fake. It's funny. It's a funny story, especially the beginning part of it. But, I mean, like, is it real? No.
No.
It's real. It's real to me.
It's just, odd. I mean, it's a good story if they came up with all that. It sounds to me like it was a hoax, like they were trying to get attention.
Yeah,
with the press coming by.
This is the exact same thing as the what was the last one of the past stories Jeremy read about the rabbits and rabbit parts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all this is.
It's not true. This one's real.
Well, I'm glad you think so. But you know what I know is real?
Tinfoil truth?
Yes, tinfoil or truth. I got different ones today. I keep changing it around. I got 25 of them for you.
Bet. Let's do it.
All right, so if you guys don't want to play along, don't play along. But
yeah,
if you're a loser, you won't play along. But I'm going to not do 2 headlines today. I'm going to give you 4 headlines today, and you guys are going to tell me which ones are or which one is false out of the 4.
So 3 are correct?
Yeah, 3 are correct. 1 is false. You guys tell me which
we
one
gotta
is false.
find the imposter.
Basically.
Okay.
So
how is there 25?
I came up with 25.
So 25 sets of 4?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying 25 headlines. I was like, 4 doesn't go into 25.
No. I'm just going to do 5 of them. 5. And I
Dollar foot longs.
Over the weekend, I just had a whole bunch of them made. But here's your first set of 4. A, the CIA covertly supported some cultural publications during the Cold War. B, modern art was used as part of Cold War cultural influence I cannot speak. Modern art was used as part of Cold War cultural influence efforts. It's kind of the same thing. Congress used, quote, a cultural freedom that was backed by the CIA, or the CIA secretly wrote every major American novel in the 50s.
I want to say the CIA one is real.
Well, 3 of them are real.
That one's real.
Which one is fake?
The second one.
The modern art is fake. I don't know what C or D were. I zoned out.
C was Congress used a cultural freedom, quote, and was secretly backed by the CIA.
Yeah, that one's real.
What was D?
The CIA secretly wrote every major American novel in the 50s.
I would say D.
D is fake.
D is fake.
I was wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of them, sure. All of them,
Yeah.
Well, I know that the Pentagon has
Helen Keller.
an office specifically for movies.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Which one is false? A, the U.S. government considered detonating a nuclear device near or on the moon. B, the U.S. explored peaceful uses of nuclear explosions. C, a nuclear bomb was accidentally dropped over North Carolina. Or D, a U.S. nuclear submarine accidentally fired a warhead toward the moon.
B, because it's peaceful.
You think that one's fake?
Because they would never do anything peaceful on purpose.
What was the first one again?
The U.S. considered detonating a nuclear device near or on the moon.
That seems like some kind of crazy.
90% positive A is real. I know C is real. I think it's B.
Let's go with B.
No.
Mm.
A U.S. nuclear submarine did not shoot a warhead toward the moon.
I guess it was between B or D, but I thought them doing something peaceful, not in their character.
You guys should get this one. MK Ultra.
We're doing bad this.
I mean, I'm 50-50. You're doing bad.
MK Ultra involved drug and behavioral experiments. B, MK Ultra successfully created fully controllable sleeper agents. C, the CIA destroyed many MK Ultra records. And D, some MK Ultra related experiments are still going today.
I can see every one of those.
I'm
being
going to
plausible.
lean towards C. So I'm just going to say C. 'cause I
That they
don't
were
know.
destroyed? You think that the CIA didn't destroy any MK Ultra
Well,
documents?
yeah, because it sounds too good to be true. That's what my thinking is. Like, it seems very obvious that's not it, so it might be it.
Okay.
I know it's not a couple of them, so it's just back down to like 50-50.
I had to make these a little bit harder because you guys know everything.
I gotta get this one right.
OH.
Just shut up.
I was going to let Andrew do it, but he didn't want to.
D was what again?
Hold
Still
on.
going on.
Yeah. Still ongoing.
Okay. What was A?
MK Ultra involved drug and behavioral
Okay.
experiments.
Yeah, that was definitely true.
C. That's why I said C. Sleeper agents. They didn't destroy something, or it's still going on. Pick one. That's why I just said C.
D, that they're still going on.
No, you guys are wrong.
What? Doesn't surprise me.
That they did successfully create sleeper agents. It's not true until it is.
Whatever. I've literally seen.
Andrew's like, I am a sleeper.
I've literally seen hypnosis, whatever you want to call them, get this guy to secretly hypnotize him over months and months of planning, and they actually got him to, air quotes, assassinate a guy using a gun with blanks. And then he sat down in a crowded movie theater, or not a movie theater, but a theater, sat down and then put the gun away and then acted like nothing happened. And then they brought him in and showed him the footage. And the guy was so confused, and he almost had he had no idea what happened. And it was either completely fake and really good acting, or it actually happened. So, cool. Next one.
Which one is false? A Soviet scientist pursued human/ape hybrid experiments. B, scientists have created human-animal hybrids for biomedical research under strict laws. C, the U.S. government officially created a functioning ape/human soldier program. Or D, there have been ethical controversies around mixing human cells with animal embryos.
C is the one that is not correct.
How do you know?
C.
How do you know?
C.
Jeremy, set them straight.
D.
The correct one is that the frogs are not gay.
True.
I also did not give you that. No, Andrew, you're right.
Yeah, I knew it.
Yes!
I was just giving it to him.
Finally!
All right, here's
The last one, right?
The last one.
Can I get a 50-50? Wait, no, this was...
No, you've gotten 1 out of 4.
Yeah.
I've gotten 1 out of 4, but only because I gave you. I should be at 50-50 right now, but I gave it to you.
Thanks, friend.
Wow, he's treating you like a dog.
I wanted to make the last round interesting.
All right, which one is false? The U.S. explored nuclear-powered aircraft. B, the U.S. built and flew a fully operational nuclear-powered bomber. C, the U.S. tested reactors and aircraft concepts during the Cold War. Or D, nuclear propulsion was considered to be impossible because it could theoretically blow up the world.
That's a tricky one.
What was A?
The U.S. explored nuclear-powered aircraft.
What was B?
the U.S. built and flew a fully operational nuclear-powered bomber?
I'm going to go with B is not the right one.
Well, I mean, it can't be A if B is real because
I know.
so it can't be A because it's only one. So A is ruled out.
Okay. Oh, I'm sticking to my answer.
B.
I'll just
Jeremy?
say D just to be something different, although I have a feeling.
Andrew is correct.
Because
Just to
there's
give us a
science. There's science of how small a nuclear reactor can be.
Yeah, I know.
No. We
No.
didn't just fly one. We flew a fleet.
So, and I know that they tried to.
Yeah, we
They
have tried.
but they couldn't make it
So-
small enough to fit
So
on
the
plane.
official is Andrew wins 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, but the unofficial is I got 3.
Yeah.
I didn't win. I only got 2 right.
I only got 1.
You did
Officially, I only got 1.
really?
Yes.
Sure.
Huh. I thought
But-
you got more than that.
I got 3 because I would agreed on you on the 2 you got right. I just didn't just so we would have different scores.
That's stupid.
Yeah, but we tie a lot or like whatever. So,
So he's okay. Wow.
Ugh.
My win means nothing.
but let the record be known I would have won.
Whatever.
So don't go stepping on Legos is the takeaway here.
Yeah, but I mostly just wanted to talk about this just because it's exposing a lot of corruption within not just government, but also small business and the cops
And big logo.
and big Legos possibly getting involved from what I can see. But earlier this month and possibly in parts of last month and earlier in this year, a family in Oregon basically takes their Lego sets that their father had been collecting during his life. And these weren't just cheap Lego sets. These were like collector sets or limited edition sets. And it's been valued anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000. He takes them to this place called Bricks and Minifigs. I believe that's the name of it, or it might be Minifigs and Bricks. I can't remember. But either way, he takes it to this place, signs up for the consignment program so that he can possibly sell these for his retirement because it's a lot of money. He then is notified that sometime after he puts his stuff up for consignment that the company is sold. The family alleges that after the ownership changes, that the store and much, if not all of the collection, was never returned to the man, even though he requested it and said, hey, you took these on consignment, or the last owners took it on consignment. You now have these in your possession. And he asked if it's still a thing that could go on where he just has them there and on consignment. They say, no, we don't do consignment anymore, which goes totally against, if you actually go to Minifigs website, I don't know if it's still up, but they had a section where they specifically said that they do take consignment pieces and they gave you the ratios of how they paid it out. But the new owner said, no, we don't do that. And by the way, you're not getting back your Legos.
Burn it down.
Burn it down. Yeah.
You've heard this, right, Andrew?
I heard him quickly explain it the other day.
Do you guys know CoffeeZilla?
Yes.
The huge YouTuber he's getting involved
I
now.
do not know.
I don't know him, but yes.
This was taken on by a YouTuber named Reckless Ben, who literally records everything, has gone through all the proper channels. They ended up winning in court, and the judge said, this company has to pay this man $200,000. Their response to that was, we're just going to close down the company. Now the company can't pay anybody because it's closed. Then they said, okay, well, what can we do? He literally asked the judge, what can they do to get the money back for the family? The judge said, you have to show proof that you tried to peaceably settle this outside of court. He said, okay, how can I do that? And he's like, you literally have to have a conversation with a witness. So what does he do? He gets in the car with a couple of his friends, and they take video. He also has a GoPro on so that nothing can be disputed. He goes up to one of the owner's houses, knocks on the door, says, hey, we want to settle outside of court if that is what you want to do. Otherwise, we will proceed with however the judge tells us to. The guy literally comes out of his house and just stares at him the whole time, doesn't say a word. It's kind of odd. After some time of doing that, he leaves, goes back, gets all the footage, submits the paperwork and the footage back to the judge. The judge says, okay, you've got a court date now. It's in a civil court case, and you are now suing this man for whatever. This is where like the whole government and police force get involved. On the way to serve him papers, he is stopped multiple times. I'm not talking about like, oh, just one time. I'm talking like 7, 8, 9, 10 times over the span of a couple of days of trying to serve the papers.
Yeah, that's deliberate.
Yeah, where the cops are literally pulling up to this guy who's not driving. Reckless Ben is the YouTuber that's trying to facilitate this and do the lawsuit and all that. He is not driving the car. They pull up. In the first one, it's just ridiculous because he stops at a stop sign. They make the turn, perfectly legal. Cop lights him up, pulls him over, and says, you didn't stop at that stop sign, which I really like Reckless Bang because he did the Freedom of Information Act, got the camera footage from the cruisers and the body cams.
Yeah.
You can 100% see he stops for multiple seconds. Like, it's not just a stop, look, go. It's like stop, 1, 2, 3, and then he turns.
Yeah.
The cop says, we're going to write you a citation. I believe you wrote him a citation for not stopping. And the guy says, well, we have video footage that we did stop because they have a dash cam as well. And they were recording. And the guy says, no, you whatever.
It's just to harass.
Yeah. This is what was weird. When he first gets pulled over, the guy goes to the driver window. The driver lowers the window. And the guy doesn't even deal with the driver. He looks in the back seat and says, hey, are you Ben? Like they obviously targeted. And Ben's like, yeah, but what does that have to do with me? Like, you're stopping him for a stop sign, whatever. So the whole time that this is going on, Ben is constantly getting footage through the Freedom of Information Act and just putting it out on YouTube. And it is making these cops and the police department look like absolute fools. At one point, he hires somebody else. I don't know the legal term for it, but it's like if I hired Jeremy to serve someone.
Okay. I was going to say private investigator, but that's not it.
No, I forget the legal term, but it's
a server.
Yeah, basically. Literally. Like, I would hire Jeremy to go deliver the papers to whoever's getting sued.
Yeah.
They pull up to the guy's house a different way this time, park the car, and literally wait for him to come out so that the server, for lack of a better term, can go serve him the papers. The cops come up to his car 8 times while he is legally parked on the side of the road. He videotapes the whole thing. It gets to the point where one of the cops says, can I see those papers? He says, sure, here's the legal documents. And the cop says, do you mind if I go give them to him?
Oh, that's a big red flag.
Well, he has multiple copies because he's like, I don't trust these obviously shady crooks.
Yeah.
Cop comes back and says he refused to take them.
But that's not how that works.
That's not how that works whatsoever. And Ben, the YouTuber, he asks him, I think he's like, did you show him the papers? Does he know what they are? And he said yes, but he refused to take them. I don't think you can refuse to take them.
You can't, and the cop knows that. They're just harassing.
He gives them the paperwork.
Those
back.
cops can get in big legal trouble. Over that too.
They are because Reckless Ben has been putting out all their body cam footage, and you can see that there is parts that are redacted, but it gets better. They get stopped like multiple times. To the point where Reckless Ben's like, I'm going to make a poster and just put it because I can, and hope in the hopes that he comes out and I can serve him papers. So he literally makes a poster with the owner's faces on it saying like, these men stole whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And just making him look foolish. The cops show up there and he's with a couple of his other friends. The cop says, I need your phone. And the guy pulls out his... No. The guy pulls out his phone.
He shouldn't have.
And presses lock. And the cop snatches it out of his hand and says, do not assault me. And the guy said, I'm doing nothing to you.
Yeah.
Reckless Ben gets all that footage from that encounter as they go back to the police cruiser and they're talking the whole time. All they're saying is, how can we charge this kid? How can we charge this kid? How can we charge this kid? Reckless Ben does some digging. He finds out that most of the cops that are on the force either have gone to or are currently going to the same Mormon church that the owners are belonging to.
The Mormons. It's not the Jews this
it's
time.
Not the Jews. It's the fake Jews.
It's the fake Jews.
Through the Freedom of Information Act, he got more body cam footage that I don't think he was supposed to get, but they just like sent him the files of one of the cops' interactions with one of the owners, and the cops are literally telling him, "We're gonna make this go away. It's gonna go away. He's gonna get tired of trying to do this.
Yeah,
this is so illegal.
Very.
Like, and the guy is just." It makes me so upset because the owner is literally like, for lack of a better term, he's giddy. He's like, oh, thank God. Like, you're really helping me out.
This is what is the legal that they slapped Trump with when he was being prosecuted and all that. Oh my gosh, what's the term? Oh man, what's the term?
It's like legal bloat. You've heard of AI slop. Here's legal slop.
Oh, golly, I can't remember what it is, but it's basically like a mafia law.
Yeah.
Where
I sort of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, where they charge. They created it for the mafia.
Yeah. So,
racketeering. Is that
a RICO thing?
RICO.
Yeah.
That's what this is RICO.
Yeah.
This is the definition of RICO.
So Reckless Ben, he says he goes back to the police station because he that's all he can go to, them and the judge. And the judge is like, I need cooperation from the police so I can get the court moving. So
this is a local police department?
Yes.
Why didn't he go to the sheriff's department, which is county? And then from county...
It might have been, now that I think about it, because he is all over the city.
Okay. Well, then he should have went to state next if it wasn't for the judge.
Well, I guess he was just trying to deal with it locally or however. I lost my train of thought there, but either way, he gets to the point where like he's putting these videos out, like updates basically.
You said he kept going back to the police officers and the judge because that's the only people who could go to. So
he was told on camera that when he gave the paperwork over to the one police officer and the police officer came back and said, oh, he doesn't want to accept these. The response from the police department to the YouTuber Reckless Ben was he did not give him the paperwork, and this is a big misunderstanding because he received them via email already.
No.
Reckless Ben said, I never sent anybody anything, and per the law and the judge, these have to be served in person.
Yes.
You cannot serve somebody via email, period. Reckless Ben is in an Airbnb. He has the police show up to where he is basically living while he's trying to help this family get their money back. And cops show up, guns drawn. I'm not talking pistols. I'm talking AR-15, shotguns, like a drug bust. They take all of them into custody because somebody, an anonymous tip, said that they had heroin in the house.
Yeah, this is called a like an FBI raid.
Yeah.
I mean not an FBI raid. SWAT raid.
Yeah.
Swatting. That's what it's called.
Some of his friends also that were out of the house at that time also got pulled over because of heroin in the car.
Yeah.
It's all heroin for whatever reason. The kids, luckily I say kids, they're like 20s, like early 20s.
So kids, yeah.
Teens. They film it all. And the one guy said, I have no drugs. This is a rental vehicle. I have no drugs in here. I'll do any sobriety test. I'll do anything. I have no drugs. Why are you stopping us? And second of all, we don't submit to any searches or seizures.
Yeah.
The cops are literally just debating with him, basically trying to get him to admit to something that he didn't do. He's like, we don't play this way in, I forget where they're from. It's like Idaho or something. We don't
We don't play like this in Idaho.
wherever the Mormons are, Utah or someplace.
Utah.
He's basically telling him the whole time, like, we don't play that way, and you could be in serious trouble. And the kid's literally looking at him like, he makes the cop look like he's stupid.
Because he is.
Because the whole time he's like,
I mean, he's a Mormon, so.
moron, more like.
Ha ha ha.
The whole time he's like, search it. I don't have anything. And
Well,
I'm not on anything.
that's very dangerous because cops doing this,
Yes.
this at this point, they'll easily take heroin from the
Yeah.
cage.
Well, Reckless Ben does some digging, legal digging, and because he gets out on bail, and I forgot to mention this, but when they popped into his Airbnb, took him, the footage, he literally puts his hands up because AR-15 pointed at his face.
Right.
They say come out. He comes out walking very slowly. Cop instantly puts him on his knees and pulls his arm out of socket.
Yeah.
Like you can hear it on the video.
Doing it all on purpose.
Yeah. He gets thrown in jail. He gets bailed out because the bail is like $2,500, whatever. He does some legal digging, and every time the owners of that store had a problem, somehow the people that were quote unquote the issue always somehow had a heroin charge against them.
Yeah.
So it's the owner calling on them the whole time. It's blatant. So now, bring it all back up to speed. CoffeeZilla is getting involved, and if he gets involved, that dude goes way, way in deep. Like he's the guy that almost took down Logan Paul, which he did with everything about like the Japan thing where you're going.
The
dead body.
The unaliving forest.
Yeah, all that crazy stuff. And he's gone after people like Drake and exposed him for a bunch of stuff, like big celebrities. And it's gotten to the point where in the past week, the police department put out a video of like explaining stuff, and it's so blatantly just lies. And I got to find this because the video is hilarious. it's the most soft-spoken guy I've ever heard. He's literally like, we got them, and we thought they had heroin in the car. Like, I'm like, get on some TRT or something,
Brother. This guy stinks.
I want to see if I can find it real quick. Oh yeah. It's on this Penguins. You guys know who Penguins is?
I don't know any of these people.
Well, he's a huge streamer. That guy has got a hold of it, and
I know who that is. Charlie.
Yes, he is raking them over the coals to the point where the police department has publicly asked multiple times, please stop calling the police department and calling us frauds, basically, because there are more emergencies.
Okay, then yeah, whatever. See, okay, I'm gonna save my comments for after.
I'm about done. I'm just gonna play this. Just we may have to bleep some stuff out because he's Charlie.
And instructed him not to return to Mr. Johnson's residence.
Yeah.
At approximately the same time, Officer Richardson arrived in the area and located a dark-colored Hyundai vehicle. Richardson initiated a check on the vehicle.
You gotta turn it up. You gotta turn it up.
This is all the way up.
No, you gotta turn it up.
Like, bro.
You couldn't get a better person.
Yeah, this is
And
the
his face is so shiny too.
this is the guy that we.
You're not that guy, pal.
Failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign, and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
Does this guy then go on to say the officer was incorrect? Because we have the dash cam.
Yeah,
He realizes this lie is immediately debunked when you look at the dash cam. They stopped at the stop sign. This is a provable lie. Surely he goes on to say that the officer was incorrect,
it's
right?
so bad.
That's a clip.
Like, brother, it's so bad. It is so bad where these officers are protecting two
Rich Mormons.
rich Mormons, rich morons. Like,
Over Legos.
over $200,000 in Legos.
Over Legos.
Like, brother, let it go.
Well, it's not just Legos. If they're doing this over that, then they've got a lot more to hide.
yeah.
So
Well, by the time this is over with, it's gonna be like you should just given him the money or the Legos back.
Yeah.
yeah, because it's going to be they opened up a can of worms for themselves.
The owners are now in panic mode because they have been getting nonstop threats and death threats and all kinds of crazy stuff where
should be
people are
getting-
showing up at the house just taking pictures of the house.
They shouldn't be going that far, but at the same time, like they should be.
If it's this big, then state should have gotten involved. If
So-
state isn't
Yeah.
involved, then that's a big red flag.
What's
too.
going to happen is the police force is going to be completely
Yeah.
messed up because all those guys should be gone, and they're going to dig
100.
into
Yeah.
they're going to dig into the heroin stuff from the past. So like all their other shady stuff that they've done,
Yeah.
not just the cops, but these people. It's
Yeah.
like your entire past. Like you might have to give money to a bunch of people.
a
yeah.
lot of people?
If people literally got arrested and got found guilty
Because of
this,
lies and
the state can
Yeah.
get sued
Thi-
or whoever.
So the company Bricks and Minifigs, they basically franchise out. Their first response when all this first started going down was very corporate, like, "Oh, we don't have nothing to do with this. This is they need to take care of it, and we don't do consignment anyway." Even though on their website it says that they do.
Yeah.
And in their documentation, it literally says that they do. Now it is totally flipped to let's just help them get the money. Like
Yeah,
like
because
they're
they don't
trying to
want-
save
They don't want to
face.
get it
Like-
deeper.
Well, the first half is true if someone else bought it, so it's no longer them. The first half is true. It's like at this point it has nothing to do with us. I could
Yeah.
reasonably
But
say,
he came off very snarky, very like
but then to
like
say,
you shouldn't even be here.
But then to be like, we don't do consignment. It's like, you do? Why?
Yeah.
Why? And then now the flip, it's like you're just trying to
Yeah,
get out of here with that.
it is. It's gotten very bad, to the point where like
We're talking about it.
yeah, we're talking about it.
To the point that Tinfoil Testament is talking about it.
Nah, I wanted
If
to.
this is on Ninjas 2 weeks from now,
Oh boy.
then we have beef.
Just
How long ago was this guy? Did he post this video?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And CoffeeZilla just did one that has 6.2 million 4 days ago. So like,
We might have to do a follow up, maybe not like a full length,
Yeah.
but there's like, if major stuff happens.
it got to the point where there's been real rumblings from the actual company Lego, where they were like, we're probably going to do an investigation into this because
Lego takes their stuff serious.
super seriously.
Yep.
And apparently you have to have some sort of written contract to resell their stuff, at least like in a public setting, like a corporate setting.
Yeah,
with-
not person to person.
right.
Yeah, but to like sell it in a shop that's not a Lego shop.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And Lego was like, who are you?
Yeah. At the very least, they might pull their.
Yeah.
If they do have it, they might pull it.
Yeah.
Nope, no more.
Pull their license
Yeah. It just,
or their contract, I should say.
it keeps getting worse and worse to the point where the home company's trying to save face now. They used to have a store here in Nashville, got closed because of this. Like it's getting bad.
So why hasn't county or state got involved in this?
I don't know. No idea.
That's another big red flag for me. With all this media attention going on for it.
Yeah. This guy down here, that's Reckless Ben. He has multiple times reached out to different agencies. Nothing. It's like,
This is where my comments come at the end.
all right, go ahead.
How should I put this?
Defund the police.
Okay. When all that was going on, the Black Lives Matter and defund the police.
That's where the Legos started.
No.
They were right.
Their approach to it, their solution of the corruption was wrong. Their actions protesting was wrong.
Yeah.
Some of the complaints that they had were correct. When I say some, I mean
95% of them.
it's a known thing that police protect their own.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very known thing.
Oh, that was just horseplay. You shot the guy.
Yes, it's a very known thing that police protect their own.
Also, that they're not trained properly and they don't know how to handle situations that they should be able to handle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which comes to funding, not defunding. Anyway, not all cops are corrupt. However, during the riots and everything else and all that, a lot of the good cops got tired
Oh, yeah.
of dealing with it, so they quit.
Yeah. And now you
And
have
then
a
the
whole
ones,
police
the
force
ones
like this.
the ones that were with the mindset and with the political agenda stayed and tried to help that out. Obviously, not everyone, not all police agencies and all that, but for the bigger cities and stuff like that.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
So-
any
Because this
Field.
happens all the time in good old boy
Utah.
Timbuktu
And that's how,
counties.
that's how they play in Utah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
Mess with our Mormons.
any position of authority, whether it's
Oh, it's in Oregon.
All I'm saying is the best way that I can put it is cops are the first ones to help you, but at the same time, they're the first one to enact tyranny.
Yeah.
Yes. Because
So we need a
the,
militia.
The positions like that attract two kinds of people who want to do good and people who want to abuse the authority.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it's policing, whether it's border control, whether it's government, whether it's whatever it is,
Yeah.
CEOs and companies, you're going to have a mixed bag. But the moment that you begin mistreating them because of their mistreatment of the ones who are bad, all you do is push away the ones who are there to be good, and the people who are there to be bad will just flock to it more.
Yeah, and the problem, and it goes back to the police protect their own, no matter what happens, and no matter what the lawsuits are, police protect their own.
And that comes from also comes from a mix of corruption, because again, there's some corruption there.
Yes,
but then there's also the side of like we've been mistreated so much that like
yes,
we're kind of like if we don't,
they're automatically defensive and everything.
So it's kind of like
yes. I agree, and I was going to bring up that point too, because you have Karen screaming at them all day, and across not every person individually, but the agencies themselves are screaming at them and everything else, and then you have the sovereign citizen guys too,
and then you also have politics.
Yes,
and you also have like it's
so. I mean, you want to be understanding, but at the same time.
Yeah,
you can't
like
be
in
so
every
understanding that you allow the bad to actually get away with it.
In every single position of power, you need to be held to a higher standard of accountability.
Yeah.
But the problem is they aren't, and they're protecting themselves. And this goes from local, county, and state. Obviously, you know, every police agency is different, is on different standards, and not everyone's corrupt. Some are on a very tight ship, but there are many that are completely corrupt.
Oh yeah.
But they do protect the city. They do protect others around them. But at the same time, they have some very devious actions in background. So I just hope that
I'm
the
thankful
Legos
we don't have a federal, because that would probably be the worst one.
yeah. Well, we have the marshals,
but we do have CIA.
But we don't have like a fully,
and the FBI,
because they won't let them,
and the NSA.
There's agencies and there's like special branches, but there's no federal
police, state.
police.
Yeah. But
they want it.
But all this is going to even get worse and worse and worse with the flock cameras. So
this guy and his flock cameras, I agree with you.
Because man, I'm telling you that more and more people need to know about it. And I know my little rant to 8 people is not really going to do a whole lot.
You never know. That's why I kind of wanted to cover something that's like now, so that we get ahead of it before ninjas or butterflies, because they like steal our ideas.
True.
So, well, anyway, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I got to go to bed in 13 minutes.
All right.
I don't have to get up as early tomorrow because I got to stay home because of a water heater.
Again.
Woo.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. We are going to see you in the next one, right? No, we won't see you. You might see us.
We'll be looking at you.
Goodbye.
Peace.
See ya.